Welcome to Crestview Community TV's Court TV. I'm Ryan Hardy, your Crestview Community TV legal analyst, and today we're watching a miscellaneous court date / VOP court date. You're going to see, by VOP we mean violation of probation, and you're going to see a lot of people this morning who are, a lot of them are going to be incarcerated because they violated their probation. When you violate your probation, you're not entitled to a bond. Doesn't mean you can't get one, it means it's harder to get one. On a new law violation, most people are entitled to a bond, absent some major circumstances. When you violate that probation, though, you're not entitled to a bond, but you can get one. But that leads this court date to having a lot more inmates. Now, when you're called to the podium, a couple things you can do. You can enter a plea to your VOP and say, yes, I did it, I violated my probation. And you can get sentenced. You can ask for a continuance. Let's set this down the road, maybe try to work out some details, maybe try to work out a deal. Or you can ask for a contested VOP hearing, which will be set at a later date in one of the afternoons of this miscellaneous date. Now, VOP hearings are very hard to win. It's a different standard of proof. We don't see a lot of them because it's rather easy for the state to prove if you violated your probation or not. So you're not going to see a lot of contested VOP hearings. Now, in addition to the violations of probation in the mornings, you're going to see some other smaller, shorter hearings, things like bond hearings, or things that don't take a lot of time, normally 15 minutes or less on these morning hearings. Anything longer than that is going to be set to the afternoon.
Mr. Weisar, your attorney, Jeremy Keach, and are you, Ms. Rivers, part also? You got two attorneys going here. We're trying to get this figured out.
Yes, Your Honor, and I did meet with him yesterday. He has two cases with Jeremy Keach,
Yeah.
and that would be 21 CF 1739, 21 CF 1740. He also has another new law case in which I was appointed.
Wasn't there a conflict between the public defender? I ought to just let y'all off and point Mr. Keach for all of them. He's on the list, right? Mr. Keach. We'll go ahead and continue this to February 26th. Let y'all off and point Mr. Keach on as your attorney, okay?
I did get some medical records, and all you have to do is sign a release and saying that he can have it. And I will call
What
him
is
and
his
he's
new
really
law
gonna see him.
violation?
Okay?
He's on a 130. I don't have to come back at 130, right?
Yeah, well, he has a 130.
Yeah, I'm gonna arraign you right now. You're
Yes.
charged with violation, failure to register sex offender, plead you not guilty.
And
Ask-
request trial by jury, Your Honor.
Ask for a jury trial, and Mr. Keach will be your attorney, okay?
So we'll come back
Okay.
February 26th?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll reach out to Mr. Keach for you, okay?
Mr. Flowers,
Good morning, Your Honor.
morning.
Judge, I'm here on two matters. You won't see my name on the docket. The first that I was contacted on is the Madison Beatty matter. The state had filed an order to show cause. I believe there are two witnesses that they are concerned about with respect to deposition testimony. Judge, I represent a co-defendant, and so because Mr. Stewart could not be here, I told him I would stand in given, the nature of our hearing today.
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct. There were two witnesses who were supposed to show up. One of them, I know we weren't able to serve, and the other one, I don't believe is present. So the state was going to request a continuance for the order to show cause.
All right, we'll just continue. It's Madison Beatty, right?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, we'll continue that case to February 26th.
Very well. Judge, there is one other matter that Mr. Jeff Arrowwood represents, Mr. Gunter. Mr. Gunter is present, and Mr. Gunter had some requests with respect to modifying the terms of his probation. I've spoken with probation, likewise the state attorney. The state attorney in this matter is Sarah Barrickman, and I don't think the state is in a position to consent to the request to modify today. I think I'm stating that accurately.
Yes, Your Honor. I would ask that this case be continued so that Ms. Berrickman can communicate with Mr. Arrowwood and reach a resolution.
And Judge, there is a 1/4 date.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say,
Yes,
January
sir.
4th. How about
So Judge,
that?
it might be wise just for this request to be made on that date.
Okay, we'll continue you to January 4th, and, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Judge, that's all I have. Judge, may I approach, please?
Yes. Is this for a VOP arraignment, or?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Come on
And I
up
don't
here.
believe she's represented.
All right, well, stand on up there and let's see if we can get you one.
Okay.
All right.
I may, Your Honor, if I may state the offer.
Yeah, okay,
She
hang
may
on one
not
second.
need to
Okay.
spend that money. The state agrees to continue this case to February 8th in order to give the defendant an opportunity to complete the outpatient treatment and the community service hours that are still outstanding. She'll need to bring proof of completion or have her probation officer email us confirming that she has completed the requirements. Then if those requirements are completed.
I have completed the treatment. I just need to do the community service hours.
Whatever she hasn't completed, she has until February 8th
Okay.
to complete, and then we will dismiss, revoke, and
All
terminate.
right, I'll continue your case to February 8th and get those hours completed so
Okay.
it'll all, you won't have to keep coming back, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Robert Clark. Is he an inmate?
Robert Clark.
Good morning, Your Honor. Tim Gibbs on behalf of Robert Clark. This is 22 CF 245, if I could have just one moment. Judge, we'll enter a denial for today's purposes. I want to set him for next week. We'll see if we can get it resolved. by then.
January 4th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And then that way we can try to get that.
Gregory Geiger.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Gregory Geiger. This is 22 CF 2274, 22 CF 2713, if I could have just one moment.
Do all of y'all out there in the audience have public defenders as your attorney? Raise your hand if you don't.
Yeah, I'm going to come see him in jail. Your Honor, if I could enter a denial for Mr. Geiger's cases for his VOPs. If we could set this for, I think February 8th was the next date that I had heard.
Okay. That's a
What else?
arraignment day. You want, oh, that's a miscellaneous, I'm sorry. Yeah, miscellaneous.
Judge.
Okay,
That's the
February
next
8th.
miscellaneous.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
So we'll have this should.
Denzel Green.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Denzel Green. This is 22 CF 1403. I believe there's another case number on the docket as well. One of those cases was the South End. We'll be looking into that as to which division is the most appropriate.
Okay.
Otherwise, if I may have a minute. Right. Judge, if we could enter a denial for today and set him for January 4th without subpoenas, see if we can get that.
Okay, Mr. Green, we'll just continue for a few days, okay? Thank you.
See ya.
Timothy Parrish.
Your Honor, he's before the court on 16 CF 958. We're going to enter a denial at this time. And he has a new law, and we're going to request that it tracks with that. So I guess if we could just put this on 226, and if we can get this worked out earlier.
Okay, has he been arraigned on a new law violation?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Is that for this afternoon?
I don't think so. It may be the 4th.
What day?
January 25th.
All right, well, maybe you can get it
Well,
worked out.
yes, if we could just put this on
Okay.
January 25th then.
January 25th, how about that?
Okay.
Oh.
Well, in that case, Your Honor.
All right, what is it? What's he charged with?
We already took care of the only other note.
We would tender a not guilty plea, request trial by jury, and if we could still leave it on the 125 docket in case we get this
All
worked
right,
out.
I'll appoint the public defender, not guilty plea, and trial by jury.
Yes, sir.
You get it worked out, we'll move it up.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. David Pate.
See you, okay? And Your Honor, this is Mr. Pate. This is Bryant Pate, 21 CF 108. This is a violation of probation. We've reached an agreement, if I may approach.
All right. Mr. Pate, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give before this court's the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You want to enter a admission that you violated probation?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
You understand the rights you're waiving by entering this admission?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this admission?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Ms. Rivers has done for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the admission freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Court's going to revoke and terminate probation, sentence you to 90 days Okaloosa County Jail with credit for all time served, $50 cost of prosecution, $100 PD fee.
And Your Honor, he
Credit
now
for time-
has,
credit for time
he now
served.
has a hold in Escambia because he missed his court date because he was here. He was wanting to know if the court would agree to allow him to serve his sentence over in Escambia.
So that I can get it over with.
All right, well, I don't have a problem with it, but I cannot make the sheriff come get you, or, I just can't, I have no jurisdiction over the sheriff or just making them come, people serve sentences wherever I feel like they need to serve, so,
Understood.
do you have a public defender over there?
I do, but I'm not able to get in contact with them.
Maybe Miss Rivers can get in contact with them, have them do an order to transfer you,
Okay.
transport or transfer.
I can contact him, okay?
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
How much time you got served already?
Nothing. I was out on bond over there, and when I got this violation, they pulled my bond, and I had a court date last Friday, and because I missed it, it's
Yeah.
FTA.
Well, they'll probably just not do anything on that FT,
Okay.
but Miss Rivers will make a phone call to their office over there. Maybe they can get you transported over there, okay?
All right, thank you. Thank you.
And Your Honor, outstanding monies to collections, if they are any?
Yeah. Christopher Stearns.
Your Honor, we're going to enter a denial at this time, and if we could put him on the 125 docket?
All right. 125. Ronald Ward.
Your Honor, this is Ronald Ward before the court on 22 CF 3142. He's going to enter a denial at this time. If I could put this on the 125 docket.
All right.
And hopefully we can get this
Get it
worked out.
resolved. We'll see what we can do. Okay, denied. And thank you. Alicia Havens.
Judge, Miss Havens is in lockup.
Okay. All right, Miss Havens, Alicia Havens.
Get your signature right
Yes,
there.
sir.
Okay.
Judge, she's going to be entering admission. They're going to revoke in term and just send any outstanding monies to collection. Well, you got to stand here, and the judge is going to ask you some questions.
Yes, sir.
Unless you got something else holding you in, yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Havens, will you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give before this court is the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. You want to admit that you violated probation?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form? You aware the rights you're waiving by entering this plea? You aware your rights that you're waiving
You
by
understand you
entering
have
this
a right
plea?
to fight this, have it
Oh,
contested?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Judge you guilty, revoke and terminate. Send,
Any outstanding fines, costs, et cetera, to fees to collections.
yes. And
Yes.
so you should be getting out today, I would imagine, unless there's a hold somewhere else,
Yes, sir.
some other hold on you, okay?
Sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
And
Judge.
on that last one, I adjudicated. I didn't know if I said that or not, but.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I've got Mandy Helms is next. Huh?
Mandy Helms.
Yeah, there's a felony adjudication. If they haven't been taken already, you probably need to take them. And there's a DUI. Okay. Need to get your signature up here. Judge, while she's signing this, she has reached the maximum, or within a couple of days will reach the maximum on the DUI and the misdemeanor. But the way that the original sentence was imposed, the DUI terms were not parsed out to just that, so they do apply to the felony. So the agreement is she's going to be reinstated or set on a new one-year probation on the felony to complete the 3 remaining DUI terms that form the basis for the violation. And once she does so, it'll be automatically terminated. On the other 2, I'm going to suggest we just revoke in term since we're at 12 months on that, or close to 12 months
Is that what
anyway.
you agreed to?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Helms, will you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give before this court is the truth, so help you God. Okay. You want to, is this an admission of, the whole thing is an admission of
Yes,
violation?
sir.
Okay, you want to admit that you violated probation?
Last month, whenever my place had burnt, and I didn't have a way to do the DUI class online or anything like that, so I admit I didn't get that done, no, sir.
Okay, so you want to admit that you violated probation? All right, take her back until she figures out what she wants to do. We'll bring her back January 4th. Thank you.
Do you want her brought back when, Judge?
January 4th.
Judge, I can take a few minutes and...
Take her back January 4th.
Yes, sir.
Make sure she understands what she's doing. Matthew Kanzelmar.
Sunday, are you here? Judge, this is a motion to modify the bond. It's a domestic violence case. The alleged victim is present. She had contacted our office actually before we got a file open on the matter and has had conversations with the state attorney on it as well. I filed a fairly detailed motion for bond modification on it. I've spoken with the state attorney since. Ma'am, are you in agreement with the modification? We talked about an ultimate resolution on it, but I don't know that we're ready to do that today because it's a PTI and you need to draft everything up.
So, Your Honor, the state has been in contact with the alleged victim, and she has requested to have no violent contact with the defendant, so I'm not going to object at this time.
Okay.
If the court wishes to inquire of her itself, she's present and available.
Ms. Leon's an officer of the court, represents the state, and they have no, she apparently has talked with the alleged victim, so you're to have no violent contact, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Your Honor.
Y'all get this worked out and you want to bring him back January 4th?
Judge, he brings up something that is significant. He's got a GPS monitor on him. The whole reason for the monitor was to set up the exclusion zone. Since they're now allowed nonviolent contact, there's no need for the monitor. I'd ask that that be removed.
I agree.
All right. You know, I don't know if we can do this kind of stuff with the new bond law. That's something we have to think about.
It won't go into effect until the 1st, so I think we're fine for today.
So he's getting under the,
Yes, sir.
okay, thank you. Amanda Mattingly. Okay.
Okay. Judge, this is Ms. Mattingly. I need to spend some time talking with her about her case. At this time, what I'm going to do is simply enter denial, and we'll have to set the case off. Ma'am, you need to make an appointment, come into my office.
It says a motion hearing, not a arraignment.
Judge, if we can pass her for just a couple of minutes, let me further and bring her case up.
Lawrence Moore.
Lawrence Moore was incarcerated. Judge, he had previously filed a request for a Feretta inquiry. The court, I had deposition scheduled. The court kind of passed it off. I've done those depositions, and we need to give him the opportunity to be heard on the Feretta inquiry.
Lawrence Moore. All right, Mr. Moore, Mr. Williams has done depositions. Have you given him copies of the depositions?
I don't believe he's been given copies yet because I don't think they've been transcribed as yet.
All right.
I have been given the transcripts of the depositions. I got them. I have received them.
You have
You
them?
did? Okay. Well, are you still wanting to represent yourself, or do you want to continue to let Mr. Williams work your case?
I want to continue to let Mr. Williams.
Okay, and you have every right, Mr. Moore, that if you feel that you want to represent yourself at some time, or Mr. Williams is not being effective or something, you can bring it right back. I'd be happy to hear it.
Sir.
But he's always worked very hard
Yes,
on
he
his
did.
clients' cases, and, okay, thank you, sir. When's Mr. Moore's next court date?
I believe it's 2/26, Judge. We are going to have to retake or reset a couple of depots because we had folks not show up. We had issues regarding service on them.
Let's get those people, if they don't show up, I'll put them in jail, then you'll be able to find them.
Yes, sir. I've got to get them served
All right,
first.
we gotta get Mr. Moore's case, we gotta get him
Gone.
resolved.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
And now, what do we have? Who are these, sir, you in the very, very back? Have you got a case today, or you just, okay. Ma'am, with the sweatshirt on, you got a case? No? Okay. So then we're basically done, except for this afternoon? Just Miss Mattingly? So this afternoon, we got arraignments.
Yes, only arraignments, Judge.
Okay. See, y'all want to take this whole week off. Look at all we got done this week. All these cases we got resolved.
Yeah.
We did good. Taking half day off for Christmas gets things done. Y'all were, half day off for Christmas, half day off for Christmas Eve. We ought to probably work New Year's Day. We could really get some stuff done. You're volunteering Steve for that, right?
Yes, sir.